Hey, how you doing? Yeah, very good. So you're in Cardiff. I didn't know that. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, nice. I think one thing that is really important, with what you're doing, is that you start getting agents on board. Whether it's an exclusivity deal with one agent or whether it's with several agents. Now the thing with this is. All the agents will put you on the books. They just will, because the standard's really good, the quality's really good, and you are doing gigs. So all the agents will put you on their books. However, that doesn't mean you'll get any gigs, because a lot of the agents will have exclusivity deals with bands, so they will take priorities. Now, one thing you've got is you've got a couple of not problems, but you've got a couple of things which go against you, which is in the grand scheme of female fronted versus male fronted bands. We've got 30 bands on our books, and out of those 30 bands, 3 of them are female fronted and 27 of them are male fronted. So, and from a gigs point of view, it is in that ratio as well. Each of our male fronted bands will get anywhere from 50 to 130 gigs in a year, whereas the female fronted bands, if we can get them 50 gigs, then we're high-fiving each other. It may be partly to do with our marketing, maybe we're just set up better for male fronted bands, but I really do think there is a niche at the moment, and there is a fashion for male fronted bands. Now that doesn't in any way mean that you can't get 100 gigs in a year. It just means you've got to find your way in order to do that. And it might be price point, it might be the marketing, it might be that you go in real top end, it might be that you go in a bit low end. It's whatever you want it to be. But it's something to be aware of, because there's a lot of female fronted bands that don't get many gigs. So, and also the other thing that is going to make it harder is because there are 6 of you. When it comes to female fronted, and when it comes to female fronted covers bands, and when it comes to 6-piece bands, those 2 things, you are going for the more high end. So when someone's coming through for a wedding, when someone's coming through for a birthday party, usually they have 2 price points in their mind, which is going to be 500 or 600 quid or £1,000. Now, if you're trying to push them up to 1,500 quid, you can do it, but there's a lot less of them. Every £100, £200, £300 that goes up, there's just less people with that budget for their night. And that is a thing that is just a big thing, where people they're budgeting for their wedding, they're budgeting for their party, and a lot of people will go, okay, we've had a look round on some agents, on some books. We can see that roughly it's about £1,000. And the reason why is because they'll look at bands which are 800 quid, and they'll look at bands which are 1,200 quid, and they'll go, okay, well, we'll budget £1,000. Same thing when it comes to food for their wedding. They might go, okay, we'll budget £5,000. And it's this round number. And for some reason, that £1,000 is, even if they were hoping for £500 or £600, when they see what's around, they'll go, okay, I get it. Maybe I'll push to 1,000. But trying to get them past that can be difficult. So your job is to make sure that when the amount of people who have got £1,000 compared to the amount of people who've got £1,500, which is a lot less, you're making sure that when these guys here in the £1,500 mark have got that budget, when they come through, so for every 10 inquiries that come through, say one of them has got a bigger budget, it's your marketing that's going to appeal to these people. So it's really, really important that knowing that there's a lot less people with that budget, so therefore you've got to make your marketing appeal to that level, and looking around at the other bands and going, our marketing shits on everyone else. We've got better videos, we've got more videos, we've got better quality. Even silly things like with a female fronted band, a big part of it is how versatile you are. Less so with a 3-piece male fronted band. People look at a 3-piece male fronted band, they want something old and something new, but they know what they're going to get. They're going to get a party band, it's going to play Kings of Leon on the Killers, and it's going to do something a bit heavier, but it's going to have something a bit 60s and 70s. Female fronted, different thing, and I'm sure you're finding this, where you might turn up to a party, And it could literally be anything from a corporate party to a birthday party through to a wedding. Any age, people could be 60, 70, 80 years old. And all of a sudden, the reason why you're there is because you're a safer option with the female fronted and the keyboards than a male fronted band. And therefore, sometimes more so than a male fronted band, you will look around the room and you'll go, holy shit, everyone's really old. And you just go, right, well, in which case that song goes, that song goes, that song goes, and in comes this one and this one. So you have to be more versatile as a female fronted band as a male fronted band. And so in which case you need to show that off. You need to market that. You need to say to people, the reason why you go for a female fronted band is because we can get the 15-year-olds partying when we play, Rihanna and Beyonce and all that kind of stuff. But also we can get your grannies going because we're also going to do stuff from the 60s and we're also going to do lots of 80s stuff, which male fronted bands struggle to do because a lot of it's got keyboards, a lot of it's very high keys, and you've got stuff like, the male fronted guys, they can't do shit like Whitney Houston. There's so much cool 80s stuff, which is voided by most male fronted three-piece bands because it's just too much of a basic setup. So you say, but we can do that. And that's our unique selling point. We can do all that kind of stuff.